Welcome back. Now, the writing should describe, discuss or be set in a specific public space somewhere in, greater Johannesburg, and it can be fiction or non-fiction in any literary, including poetry, prose, play or a film script. Well, these are the requirements for the UJ Arts and Culture and the Johannesburg Institute for Advanced Studies competition for new writing set in Johannesburg. Now, to tell us more, we're joined in studio by the competition coordinator, Dr Siphiwo Mahala. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Talk to us about this competition. I mean, give us brief background about what's the inspiration behind this competition and what is it about? Well,
first of all, I must say that there are two components of the competition. Right. There is what we call the UJ Prize, which is open for, has two categories in it. The main prize, which is for established writers, and then there is the debut prize, which is for writers who are writing for the first time, and then we have this one for Joburg specifically. So it has to be work set in Joburg, and we're targeting mainly new writers. Yep.
Why specifically Joburg and this particular subject? Why did you choose this particular subject for them?
Well, city spaces really, determine their lives. As you know, with migration, people moving towards the cities. So there's such dynamic life, and writers who write about cities have so many options. So Joburg, in particular, being the busiest city on this side of the continent, gives us such a dynamic environment. Yep.
So what are the requirements for those interested in entering this competition?
Well, they have to send their manuscripts. The manuscripts have to reach us not later than the end of November. So that they have to be emailed. I hope you have the email there. And then there's also, for the Joburg Prize, I don't want to confuse these two. Yeah. For the Joburg Prize, we are open until the 31st of January 2023. And for that one, you have to submit books. In other words, they have to be couriered to the University of Joburg, and entries. You have to submit 7 copies of each book, of each title that you submit, and to the attention of Dikeledi Siranyane. Yep.
Speak to us about the competition opened on the 1st of November. You were talking about how you already have so many, scripts on your desk already. I mean, what's been the response, and how do you gauge the response from writers?
It's massive because, we have these two competitions happening at the same time. The Josie one, unfortunately, is submitted by email, and submissions have been pouring in. Yeah. And then also for the UJ Prize, which has been around since 2006. So people know about it. It has a long history. So there's been a massive response. I disappeared from the office for like 2 days, but by the time I got back, I hardly had a place to sit. Yeah. Yeah, because the books were arriving, and so yeah, it's created a lot of excitement. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about the criteria used, for both the UJ Prize and this particular competition for the judges and the panel. What would they be looking for, in order to get to the winner?
Well, I think that the most with the new competition, because it targets new writers, new works, depending on how you depict the city. So for that one, we just it's easier because you judging people on the same platform, whereas UJ Prize is far more complicated in the sense that you have diversity of genres. Yeah. You have poetry, novels, and biographies, and other non-fiction work competing at the same time. Yeah. So it's really tough to judge, but the most important thing about it is that we wanted to be as inclusive as possible, so that we select the best of South African literature.
Yeah.
Because that's what UJ Prize is all about. It looks out for the best, for literary excellence in South Africa.
Talk to us about the importance of competitions such as these for unpublished writers. I mean, why are they so important to the literary industry?
Well, many writers actually emerge through competitions such as these, because when you write in your little corner, you want to test your strength. You don't have a way of gauging how good or how bad you are.
Yeah.
So, and publishing usually takes a very long time, and publishers, in fact, publish only about 5% of what they receive. You know, so competitions give emerging writers, in particular, the platform to gauge themselves, to see how good or how bad they are, on the one hand, but also for seasoned writers as well. It's the kind of affirmation that you need, because some would say writing is a thankless job, or art in general. You know, you do it, you're driven by passion. So passion and that kind of affirmation that you get from competitions is really good to keep it going.
And the UJ Prize, you know, talk to us about how it's evolved over the years.
Well, the UJ Prize was initially limited to Afrikaans. This was back in, you know, when UJ was RAW. And with the transformation of the university, the English Prize was introduced in 2006. And then last year, we introduced African languages, starting with isiZulu and Northern Sotho. So with time, we'll try and integrate all of these prizes. But what we're trying to do now is to introduce one component at a time. And yeah, it's keeping us extremely busy.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about details again for somebody who literally just switched on and they want to enter this writing competition. Tell us a little bit about that. Let's give them, you know, details, step-by-step details. So I'm writing a book, I'm unpublished, and I'm just hearing about this competition on TV. Where do I start?
Well, for the competition, you have to email. We accept new manuscripts from emerging writers who haven't been published before. And it has to be about Johannesburg, life in Johannesburg. And then, well, as indicated for the UJ Prize, you courier the material. Yep.
And when do you start then looking at everything else? Because I mean, it's just submissions and all that, but when do you start actually sitting down with a panel or with a committee to say, this is what we have now?
There's no rest for the wicked, they say, because on the 5th of December, the panel is sitting to consider the entries for the competition, which closes at the end of November. And then similarly, as soon as we close for the UJ Prize, in February we start looking at the scripts. And the panel is comprised of both UJ staff as well as people outside trying to get independent judges who are not part of the UJ community. Yes.
All right, Siphiwo Mahala, thank you so much for talking to us. Good luck with the competition. I suppose there's more entries after this interview. Dr. Siphiwo Mahala is the coordinator of the UJ Arts and Culture Competition for Writing, set in Johannesburg. The closing deadline for submissions is midnight 30th of November 2022. But remember, there's also the UJ Art Prize, and that also that closes at the end of January. So 2 competitions running parallel. All right, a quick ad break. We're back after this. Stay with us.